make $1,000. The guy that sold me the good gets taxed. The guy that sold me the good gets a payment processing fee. The payment processing company now has to pay taxes on that. The guy that sold me the goods has to pay taxes on that. The guy that he bought the goods from in order to sell them to me at a premium has to pay taxes on that. I have to pay taxes on the money that I make. I invest the money, make capital gains. Okay, perfect. I have to pay tax. I take those cap gains, I buy a house, I have to pay taxes on the house. Now I have the house, perfect. I have to pay taxes on the property. So we've entered a situation right now where we have the soundest form of money. So what is money? Medium of exchange, store of value in and of itself. Today, what's the best store of value and what's the best medium of exchange? You need something uncensorable and something that is finite supply, limited supply, that has more demand for it than available units. Bitcoin, just a natural solution. Does the lion go out and hunt every single day? Or does it eat and then it rests? It eats and then it rests. The slave masters, they realized back in the day you had to crack the whip over the back of the slave, because they were like, hey, we'll just force people into slavery. So we'll pillage a village, take all the women, make them our wives, take the kids, put them in the army, take the husbands. If they're dissidents, the men, we'll kill them. If they're good, we'll make them slaves. Well, now that you have a slave culture, all you know is slavery. So what if we all know a system that is just based on slavery? We don't know freedom. We don't know anything else. When you begin to study history, you begin to realize during the feudal age, when the peasants kind of worked on the land of the feudal kings, the feudal lords, they only worked 140 days out of the year. The other 200 days, they chilled. They didn't work. They went to the creek, they went to the river, they fucked around. Half of the year, they couldn't, work on the land because it was snowing, X, Y, and Z. So today, we work more than the peasants. Most people work more than the peasants used to and have less to show for it. They have no land, they have no house, they have nothing. It's the illusion of slavery. It's the illusion of freedom. Back in the day, you at least knew you were a slave. You knew it. You had to buy your freedom. Today, you don't know you're a slave. Instead of cracking a whip, they've just printed money out of thin air and told you it's valuable and this is what you're supposed to work your entire life for. I don't work for money. Fuck that. I work for relationships. I work for network. I work for personal development. I work to provide services and goods and values to the marketplace. And if money comes as a return, as a byproduct, so be it. But to be working for money is to be working for what somebody else owns, because you don't own that money. And most people, if I asked them, define money, they wouldn't be able to. So most people are working for something that they don't even know what it is.
How do you define money?
Well, money is technological advancement of medium of exchange and store of value. Back in the day, the first interactions of money was bartering. You would have cows, I would have pigeons. But it was an unscalable model, right? Because I would have to find somebody that actually wanted pigeons in order to buy my goods. We introduced the next technological advancement of commerce, which was coinage. It was the first time in history where people could actually save something that wouldn't die or wouldn't rot. And I could exchange it for fair value and you would accept it. So there was a medium of exchange. We agreed upon something. We agreed upon a store of value and it was easy to handle. That's money. Then we realized, hey, you know what? We're gonna have to mine more gold in order to grow societies, or mine more precious silver, or we're gonna have to go pillage another empire and take all of their gold. But now we have a lot of gold. We have big gold reserves, we have big treasuries. So we can't be moving all of this at all times. It's a big liability. Introducing the next facet of technological advancement of how people transact and how people save money, paper money. So in the California Gold Rush, 1848 rolls around. Two dudes walk in, to California, one with the last name Wells, one with the last name Fargo. And they say, hey, you know what? We'll hold on to your gold deposits, and we'll give you paper receipts in return. Wells Fargo, $10 trillion assets under management, 150 years later. Then 1971 rolls around. And they say, hey, this paper units that used to denominate the amount of gold storage that you have, fuck that. Print as much money as you want. Next advancement of technological revolution, credit creation and fiat. Was it positive? Was it negative? Well, debatable. Depends on who you are. If you're the printer, you're chilling. If you're being printed on, you're fucked.
It's been the most profitable period in history for
crazy.
Banks, investment funds.
Absolutely. In businesses, countries, all together, there's positives and negatives, but the gap is insane. The next technological advancement of money, Bitcoin. Going back to peer-to-peer transactions. Remember, Bitcoin might be psyoped and co-opted because Bitcoin's What's the title of Satoshi Nakamoto's white paper? Peer-to-peer electronic transactions, not store of value. Bitcoin wasn't created to be a store of value. It was created to be a medium of exchange. Today, Bitcoin doesn't serve its primal function, which is to be a medium of exchange, but it was created that way. It was created to be a replacement for transacting with banks. It was the next advancement of technological revolution. It's the digital version of coinage. All the best properties of digital coinage of physical gold and coinage in a digital format.
I think since it was created, the situation regarding fiat has significantly worsened. Like in the last 3 years, we've seen the money supply double.
Because it's a debt spiral. It's like a death loop. There's no going back. You can't. There's no going back. It's dead. The US is dead. You can't save it. How do you save it? How do you save 30? What the fuck is $40 trillion in debt? Explain that to me.
Raise taxes.
But once again, taxes are an illusion that you're funding the government when the government prints money to fund itself. Taxes
are crazy. I mean, this is another discussion, but taxes are crazy. You get taxed on your income, then you invest your money, right? So you invest in stocks, real estate, then you get taxed depending on what tax rate you're on the profits of those investments, and then when you die, they tax you again on the inheritance. So they tax you 3 times.
Let's add to that. Make $1,000. Okay, perfect. First, the guy that sold me the good gets taxed.
GST.
Then the guy that sold me the good gets a payment processing fee. The payment processing company now has to pay taxes on that. The guy that sold me the goods has to pay taxes on that. The guy that he bought the goods from in order to sell them to me at a premium has to pay taxes on that, the inventory. I have to pay taxes on the money that I make. I invest the money, make capital gains. Okay, perfect. I have to pay tax. I take those cap gains, I buy a house, I have to pay taxes on the house. Now I have the house, perfect. I have to pay taxes on the property. 1% a year.
Anything you get fixed, kitchen renovation, all of that is taxed.
Property tax. I don't think you have it here in Dubai, but the rest of the world, if I go to New Jersey in the United States right now and I buy $1 million house, there's a 1.5% a year tax.
I'm from Australia. We have
1.5%. You don't own shit. You stop paying for that property tax, the government takes your fucking house.
And you pay 5% at any time you transact, even if you lose money.
And I go to the gas station with the little bit of money that I have left after paying capital gains tax and income tax, and I swipe my card. He's getting taxed off of my money.
Crazy.
The fuck up, once again, where's the fuck up? Where's the issue? The issue is we've allowed there to be a middleman between our ability to transact. That's it. So they've abused their middleman power by creating a box and putting us all into it and saying any alternative system is a scam. Any alternative idea is fraudulent. Why? Because it jeopardizes their operation. We're talking about trillions of fucking dollars. We're talking about banking dynasties, families that have been around for hundreds of years that are at risk. So what are they going to what do you expect, Jamie Dimon from Chase to be supporting fucking Bitcoin? Why the fuck would he? It's not his business. He doesn't make money from that shit. He doesn't care. So we've entered a situation right now where we have the soundest form of money. So what is money? Medium of exchange, store of value in and of itself. Today, what's the best store of value and what's the best medium of exchange? You need something uncensorable and something that is finite supply, limited supply, that has more demand for it than available units. Bitcoin, just the natural solution.